Good afternoon. This is a presentation for Harris County Board of Education proposed millage rate for the 2025 tax year, August of 2024. We're going to overview how property taxes are calculated, our tax digest history, millage rate history and calculation of a millage rate, property tax calculation. We're going to review the 2025 Board of Education budget. We're going to also recap and look ahead financially for the school system, and then the remaining schedule for the millage rate hearings. So how are property taxes calculated? The county tax assessor's office assesses the value of a property based on fair market value. The property tax value is based on 40% of the fair market value assessed by the county tax assessor's office. So, for example, if in 2023 your fair market value is $100,000, then your taxable value is $40,000. So you just take your $100,000 by 40%, and that's how you get your taxable value. So moving forward to 2024, if your fair market value has increased, that means your taxable value is going to increase as well, because your fair market value has increased from 100,000 to 150,000. That means we're going to take the 150,000 times 40% taxable value to get $60,000. And that's what your property taxes is based on. This is the tax digest history for the school system. So this shows 5 years history and then also the proposed 2024 taxes collected if we leave the millage rate at 16.5%, and that is what we plan to do. This is available in the newspaper, and it's also available online on the Harris County School District website. This is the tax digest history as a bar graph, so it just visually shows you the total digest minus any exemptions that are received, and it goes up in the years, and you can see how much we've collected. This is the 5-year net taxes levied. So you can see the trend line. It shows the percentage increase each year of how much taxes we've collected. So for 2019 to 2020, we increased 3.7%. 2020 to 2021, 4.7, 21 to 22, 5.6%, 22 to 23, 6.9%. And then if we leave 16.5 millage rate for 2024, we will see a 6.5% increase in taxes levied. This slide is a very good representation to show you how the millage rate can remain the same, but your taxes will still be increased because it's all based on property value, not the millage rate. So as you can see in 2019, that's our starting baseline. We had a millage rate of 17.26. We kept that millage rate the same for 19, 20, and 21. Then in 22, we lowered our millage rate to 16.5 and have kept it there for 22, 23, and again, proposed for 2024, 16.5. But because the total tax digest has increased, that means we see an increase in taxes collected. This is the county-wide millage that you'll see on your tax bill. So you have the Board of Education, and then you also have the Board of Commissioners. So the Board of Commissioners is 9.13 mills. The school system is 16.5, which gives you a 64.38% for the school system, 35.62 for the Board of Commissioners. So educational tax millage calculation example. This shows you for the school and then the bond indebtedness that we collect, the fair market value and how that really plays a part in the amount of taxes that you're charged. So let's look at calendar year 2024. Your fair market value is $250,000. Net assessment is 40% of $250,000, which gets you $100,000 taxable value for your property. Millage rate is 16.5. The bond is 1. So you can see taxes charged is $1,650 for the school and $100 for the bond. If you move forward to next year, then your property value has increased as a fair market value for $275,000. 40% of that fair market value is $110,000. Same millage rates. We haven't changed the millage rates, 16.5 and 1. But you see an increase in the taxes charged solely based on the fair market value. So the bottom is just the total difference. So there's a fair market value total difference of 25,000. Net assessment always remains at 40%, but the taxable value has increased by $10,000, and that's why you see an increase in your taxes by $175. So this is our fiscal year 2025 proposed millage rate and what it would look like for us on an income statement for the school system. So our property taxes, it would be around 29 million. That would be 40% of our revenues. State QBE, so our state funding is around 39 million, and that's 55% of our revenue that we collect. We have other revenues such as grants, and then a few donations that we receive. That makes up 5% of our total revenue to get us to 72 million. On the expenditure side, you can see we spend 62% of our expenditures on direct instruction. Direct instruction includes anything from teacher salary to instruction materials such as textbooks, and then also supplies that go to direct instruction. Other expenditures we have pupil services, improvement of instruction, educational media, general administration, school administration. We have business services, maintenance and operations, transportation, and support services, which make up our total expenditures of $70 million. And in just a few slides, I'll show you what we anticipate going forward, why we're going to need to keep our millage rate at 16.5. This is a visual representation of all of our expenditures to just show you how much we spend on direct instruction, which directly impacts our students here at Harris County. The recap of Harris County Board of Education financial position. Our fiscal year runs from July 1st to June 30th. Harris County Board of Education gave all classified employees a 3% raise for 2024-2025 school year. A classified employee is non-certified, so that means your bookkeepers, your school secretaries, and your paraprofessionals. The total cost for that 3% raise is $452,274 for the year. So Governor Kemp also approved a $2,500 raise for all certified positions for the 2024-2025 school year. This means the teacher certified salary schedule has gone up in each category and each step for $2,500. Most of those positions are earned from the state based on the number of students we have enrolled, but we do have 28 non-funded positions that we have to pay for locally, and that cost us $70,000 just for that $2,500 raise this year. We are also seeing a steady increase in the state health insurance employer premiums. So for certified, again, this is our teachers, it increased $1,580 up to $1,760 monthly starting July. So this first month of July, we saw this increase for all of our certified employees per employee every single month. 33 of those certified employees, we have to locally fund this increase. And so that's costing us $696,960 a year. So our non-certified, again, this is positions such as parapros and bookkeepers and secretaries. They have an increase in the employer cost from $1,195, and it's going up to $1,760 per month per employee starting January 1st, 2025. We have 235 non-certified employees that participate in state health insurance with us. So annually, it's costing us $4,166,550. A lot of people know that our ESSER and COVID money we received federally, those funds have expired now. And so in order to retain any positions that we funded with the COVID money, we're now having to fund that locally and pay with our local funds. So we had 7 of those positions that we retained, and that's $532,652 cost annually. So looking ahead financially for the school system, we've seen an inflation rate this year of 3.3%. That number comes straight from the Consumer Price Index website. So this includes energy costs, which are things like lights and power and water for our schools and facilities. We have 8 school facilities and 5 central support service facilities. We have to also include fuel for our buses, and that rate has increased. Food for 7 cafeterias, just like you're seeing at your own home, the food in the grocery stores have gone up, and the food for our cafeterias has increased as well. So as we just reviewed in the last slide, increases in employer insurance costs. And then we've also seen an increase in the Georgia State teacher retirement cost. So this is a teacher retirement system. It's the Georgia State retirement system for school districts. And the employee pays 6%. The employer last year paid 19.98%. And this year we've seen an increase to over 20%. We have also already been contacted that increase is going to be, we're going to have another increase for fiscal year 2026 for the teacher retirement system. So it's going to go up again. Then we also try to give a cost of living raise every year for our staff. So 3.3%, we try to keep it around the inflation rate, and that's how we come up with the cost of living raises for our staff. We are seeing a growing population in Harris County, which means we're going to need new school buildings and definitely keep the current buildings we have up to code and standards. There's also new state of Georgia curriculum standards that are coming down from the state. And so that means we're going to be spending more money on new instructional materials to meet those standards. This is a schedule of the final millage hearings that we will have for the public. So we had our first public meeting Thursday, August 1st at 10. Second was Thursday, August 1st at 6. Our third public hearing is Thursday, August the 8th at 6. And then we will make our final adoption, again, 16.5 mills at Thursday, August the 8th at 6:30 during our regular board meeting. Thank you. Please feel free to contact the Finance Department of Harris County School District with any questions you have.